So good morning, Charles.
Morning.
Thanks for taking 5 minutes out of your workout this morning.
That's fine.
We have something which is called Annika Asks, and I've got some questions for you.
Good.
I went for a run on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I completely overdid it because we got lost and we just kept on running and power walking and running. And in the end, I did over 7 miles, which I was really surprised that I,
yeah, it's a decent distance.
Yeah. But I was in absolute agony.
Yeah,
afterwards. I literally could not walk, and we did do the warm up. I did do lots of stretching afterwards, lots of hot baths with Epsom salts. But knowing that you're training for the marathon, I thought I could pick your brain to give us a little bit of insight what to do when you've never gone for a run before and you want to start out. So what do you think, what should I do next time?
So I think, as with training for anything, it's about gradual progression. So like you went out and you did your 7 miles, what would your normal distance be? So if your long run each week is typically 5K, then the following week progress that to 6K.
Okay.
And if then that feels okay, the next week you can progress that to 7K and just gradually building it up.
Okay. And what would you say in terms of warm up, stretching, what's really important to look out for and to do?
So with warm-ups, I like to do a little bit of a cardio warm-up, which replicates the exercise you're out to do. So that could be for you, just say like a 5-minute jog, quite nice and light just to get the heart rate up. Or if the jog is going to be too much, then a power walk, like you're saying, you're alternating between power walking and running. Then a few compound movements targeting the muscles you're going to use. So primarily quads, hamstrings, glutes. So things like a handful of squats, lunges, side lunges, and then some dynamic stretches to get those muscles stretched out a little bit. So things like leg swings and heel flicks. And then you should be pretty good to go.
Okay. So I wasn't far off with my warm up and my stretches afterwards. And I don't know, you're training for the marathon. How do you keep yourself going and how do you keep yourself motivated when you know you've got another really long stretch or another mile ahead to go?
So a bit like the whole hog that you're planning to do, a bit like training for that, I've got an endpoint. My endpoint for the marathon is to be able to run 26.2 miles in a certain time without stopping. And I've got a really good training plan that's going to help guide me towards that. So that training plan means that I've got gradual progression. So I can increase the distance I'm running each week without overdoing it. So I'm reducing the risk of injury. It's got time in it where I'm doing resistance training or cross training to help keep myself fit. Within that plan, there are days cut out for cross training. So that can include cycling, that can include weightlifting, which is still a way to keep my muscles fit and strong, but without having to put too much load on my body directly from running. So that reduces the injury even more. So for you planning to do that 5 miles for the whole hog, I would say your goal should be probably to be able to run a bit more than 5 miles, but also I'd probably start thinking about, if you're not already, working on your strength. So being able to pull yourself over obstacles, jumping over things like hay bales and crawling through ditches and doing the monkey bars. Okay,
so I guess injury is obviously a big thing, avoiding injury. And I don't want to start running and then injure myself and basically not being able to do any of my other fitness I would like to do. So it's actually really important, as you say, to still continue working on all areas like strength and cardio and I guess everything, stretching, balance.
Yeah. So one of the most common reasons for injury that I see with runners or people that I speak to have just started running is doing too much too soon. Because if you think about when you're running, you're obviously challenging your cardiovascular system, but you're also putting a lot of stress on your soft tissues, so your ligaments and your tendons. And these tend to progress quite slowly compared to muscles. So you want to increase the load on them quite steadily and incrementally. So again, instead of jumping from 3 miles to 7 miles.
That was by accident.
Which the soft tissue is going to be going, this is way too much. I'm going to ache. I'm going to take a long time to recover from this. Adding that gradual load gives them a chance to adapt to that load incrementally. So yeah, gradual progression. But like you say, keeping on top of your flexibility is going to really help. using things like foam rolling to help keep the tissue, to help keep blood flow to the tissue going and help boosting recovery. And also strength and conditioning is going to be really important to make sure that your muscles are actually strong and durable enough to keep up with the training that you're doing.
I think I've got lots of things I can take home and think about and plan. I need to download an app and track my maps and where I'm running. But thank you so much for your time.
No worries at all.
What is, just really quickly for our viewers, what is the thing you like most about running?
I actually quite like, even though I'm planning for a long distance event, I like doing intervals. So I get at least one interval session in a week where I'm running to 90% of my effort, short and sharp, up to efforts of, say, 8 minutes at faster than my 5K pace. So I'm really pushing it down to as low as 10-second efforts where I'm practically sprinting. And I find that's fun, but also keeps that strength in my legs.
Okay, so that's actually building that into your run, that strength training.
That's it. So it means like when I'm running up a hill on a long run, I've got that power behind me to see me through, which does take my heart rate up. But then I've got the endurance to settle back down into my slow pace, my slow effort to carry on. Okay.
So I'll make sure I'll get some hills into my, into my
route. Not fun, but good training.
No. Okay. Well, I'll keep you posted how it's going.
Good.
And I'd love to hear about your marathon training.
I'll be putting more about that online.
When is your marathon?
It's not until April the 27th.
Okay.
So I've got just under 6 months of training left. Okay. So hopefully
keep us posted. Thank you very much.
No worries at all.